Rather controversial topic that is, but truth doesn't have to be pleasant, it just has to be. I named it Assault on the Core. Every nation has a core entity. In times of peace, it's building cities and lays roads, creates families and has a dozen kids, invents and advances sciences, plows land and maintains law and order. Because their roots are in this land and they see their children's future here too. In times of economic issues, this group dutifully pays more taxes. It is willing to trim expenses, makes sacrifices. Because their biggest investment is their country. In times of war, it is them who leave the plow and olive groves and take up arms. They will even call their sons with them. If required, they may suffer defeat after defeat and still pull through until the end, whatever it may be. Because for them, their motherland is like their home. And in times when society is healthy, state responds in kind. It's akin to a relationship of two hands that wash one another. Normal stuff, right? State also has their best interest in mind. They are treated with respect. If promotion is due and in a choice between equal candidates, where one is from that entity, guess who's getting promoted? If position of power has a vacancy, business and politics will advance members of that group too. As they have the highest stake in civilization they build succeeding, etc. So who makes up that entity? The answer is men of leading ethnicity and religious confession. For Saudi Arabia, male Arabs of Sunni Islam. For China, Han ethnos males, religion of little importance. I have no way of knowing, dear viewer, how to define that group in your country, but you can figure it out for yourself with my guidelines. Don't get me wrong though, I'm not trying to say that all other people that aren't fortunate enough to be born in the particular country belong to male gender and particular ethnic group have to be kept back or oppressed. I just say that if society takes care of their own, others want to become part of it. Integration in that society has clear incentives. As you probably remember, I am an immigrant to Western world myself, so I have an advantage of outside view. And when I see the state stabbing its own men in the back, it doesn't make me want to be part of it, nor do I feel safe to let my kids plan out future here. And I feel sorry for the local boys. They are hospitable, kind, and considerate, and quickly becoming most oppressed group in their own home. How does it show itself? We will look at a few examples. Let's start with employment, as I have a story from personal experience that might ring familiar to some of you. I worked for the company in question for almost a decade and worked really hard. Could run all the lines in 4 out of 5 departments. Did so much overtime that could almost call that company home. But it was okay with me. I liked the job, the wages, the people, the shift pattern. When promotion opportunity came up, there were 3 applicants. Me, another local guy very evenly matched to me in work ethics, and a non-binary black girl. She only worked a year, could run 1 line in 1 department, didn't stay even an hour behind, and didn't come in on her day off even once. Me and that man were %100 sure that promotion will be given to one of us and even shook hands, saying that no matter who gets it, we're all good, and couldn't understand what that lazy and gender-confused girl even hopes for. Do you want to have a guess who got it? Yeah. When manager, female, butch representative of certain minorities herself, called all 3 of us to the office and broke the news, we were simply fuming. The reasons given as an explanation for why we were passed by on well-deserved advancement were because current year, and we already have 5 male supervisors. And this reasoning, rather than making us accept what happened, just added insult to an injury. So we were asked to be gentlemen and let in lady first. But we were told to please keep up good job and keep fingers crossed for next opportunity. Needless to say, we both were disheartened and disillusioned, felt that all our efforts were thrown back in our faces, and we both thought that the way things went, there have to be at least 2 more DEI, that being diversity, equity, and inclusion, hires before we have anything going for ourselves. Very soon after both me and my colleague left that company, but in my current country of residence, it's same picture everywhere right now. So my attitude to work has never been the same. Even though ethnically I am a minority, but racially same as locals. So I only tick half of DEI box. Plus, I am too proud to receive handouts based on anything but my merit. Work is no doubt very important, as adults spend 1/3 of their life there, so negative impact of it can be quite high. But another, even more important side of life is family. And in this endeavor, men in the West again get a hard end of the stick, so to speak. I have no shortage of examples here. My father and my brother, my friends, my own children. I will explore my oldest son's example, as it hits closest to home. He is around 20 years old right now, tall, handsome, studies useful trade in university, and with his character has a bright future ahead of him. He is raised in good household with both parents married. Seemingly ideal man for any woman to create a family with. Yet he never even dated a girl. It was very strange to me. Remembering myself in his years, every good-looking girl was a fair play for me. I felt capable of solving global demographic crisis all by myself, given a chance. Yet he seemed to have zero interest in opposite sex. I felt very concerned. Political correctness is a foreign concept to men in my country of origin, and I was starting to wonder how will I respond if he gives me some news that no normal father wants to hear. At some point I called him over, braced for impact, and asked what's going on. I found out that at least he is heterosexual. But good news ended there. I also found out that he is neither deaf nor blind. He said that the way things are, he has to be an absolute sucker to get into a relationship. Why would he look for a woman if the moment passion fades a little she can decide that love is gone, break the family, claim half of what he worked for, take the kids and get him to pay for privilege of seeing them one weekend a month until they are 18? And he told me that they had family and health lessons at school where they were taught that basically man has to be in most ways subservient to his woman, tend to her every whimsical request so that he is not called emotionally abusive. That creating a family in a way that modern society considers healthy means that man gains nothing, apart from an honor of having to cook and clean for more than one person, but stands to lose everything he worked hard for. He saw, all around us, the examples of girls taking full advantage of rigged justice system, where instead of peacefully parting ways she would scratch herself. Ring police accuse a good guy that never raised a finger at her of domestic violence, and cops would arrest the man. Instead of principle of innocent until proven guilty, new principle of prove us your innocence gets applied, and even if lucky, man is left with a heartbreak, empty pockets, and a smear on his reputation. And more often than not, he is left with an undeserved criminal history. On top of that, his pride wouldn't allow him to be content next to a woman that possibly accumulated higher body count in a month of her hoe phase than he can in his whole lifetime. As he said, he ain't into having someone else's leftovers. That if his woman wants to, she can withdraw all intimacy, and God forbid he's going to try pushing her to give what he is entitled to in bed. And a lot more. So my son opted out of this mess. Mrs. Wright, Hand is a far more loyal mistress. Being the kind of man I am, I couldn't agree with him. From my point of view, quitting and that kind of generalization is a way for weak people and plays right into the hands of those who try to fracture our society. And that by thinking along the lines of women ain't nothing but hoes and tricks. He steps down to the level of blue-haired TikTok mob that says, all men are trash. I tried to explain to him that there is no shortage of women who are just as sick and tired of postmodern garbage forced upon us as he is, that all he has to do is to start looking. But he simply asked me if I can guarantee that today's good girl isn't going to stab him in the back tomorrow, a year, a decade from now. And since I couldn't, perhaps I need to mind my own business. Now I have to come to terms with the fact that this son of mine might be a biological dead end. I have more kids, but worrying signs are everywhere. But enough of personal sob stories. Let us look at the bigger picture. We have a Caucasian male in the developed world. Let us look at what his life is like. In his childhood, his teachers and mom told him off for any attempts to act masculine. He fights with another child that grabs his toy. Bad boy, you have to share. He fights back against a bully. Violence never solved anything. And more often than not, person that takes justice in his own hands gets punished just as much or even more than the perpetrator. Every time there is a dispute with a girl, regardless of him being in the right or not, he is told to give up his point in her favor. When he grows up and goes to work, he sees heavy push-up for women, ethnic, sexual minorities. Unless he is willing to be ruthless in his career building, he got nothing going for him. Working hard no longer means getting ahead. After a hard day at work, he comes back home and turns on a TV. Commercials come up. Men of his complexion in them are shown as useless, weak, subordinate to women or men with darker skin. He decides to go to the movie theater. There, he sees a long list of movies with strong female characters in the lead, with men like him at best designated to the role of goofball sidekick, but often enough to the role of a villain, and pathetic one at that. His girlfriend comes over, and instead of giving him love and peace, starts to nag him about this and that. In his relationship, he feels absolutely powerless. His partner can threaten him with ringing cops, physical violence. In most cases, men are too embarrassed to report and too good to respond in kind. Financial ruin, damage to his reputation, sexless life, etc. He only has an option of walking away, but in a relationship, it's a nuclear-grade weapon. You can't pull it out at every dispute. So he feels disarmed and naked in front of the increasingly hostile world. How do you think men react to that relentless and undeserved pressure? Most of men simply withdraw. They stop trying at work, or on the contrary, become workaholic to simply take their mind off things at home if their wives are psychologically abusive. They avoid close and meaningful relationships after getting burned on them enough. They don't want to risk having kids, because they feel kids can either be used against them, or because they don't want to bring in new life to suffer the current madness. They would much rather spend their resources on what interests them in peace and quiet. They are content with flatting their whole life. They are low maintenance, rather ascetic in their lifestyle. Many of their needs are compensated for by video games, adult movies, and occasional visits from women for hire and company of other men they know they can trust. That is the path of least resistance and may not be the worst, albeit most miserable, a way for quiet losers. But even men in this group, once they are pushed hard enough, can snap and become capable of most atrocious and senseless outbursts against society that prosecutes them. Men that still have testosterone levels high enough chose differently. Passionate and stupid ones opting for far left. They hope for personal improvement of their situation by virtue signaling. They try to acquire authority by wholeheartedly embracing the destructive changes in society and turn into willing and useful idiots by giving up their deserved rights and advocating for every vile thing they are told to tolerate. They bolster ranks of rioters and protesters of every kind. They are willing to even try to change sex if it's in the trends. Being too dumb to think for themselves and dig a little deeper, they prefer to join existing crowd of people that have simple explanations for everything, where they will be told what to do and how to think. Yet, if you try to engage in dialogue with them, they are a pathetic sight to behold. Their speech is full of cliches. They like to use smart words they do not know meaning of. Despite their claims of being most loving and accepting bunch, they are most bigoted and intolerant people you can find. As someone long ago said, truly individually humans are the smartest creatures on earth, but in a crowd they are more stupid than a flock of sheep. It rings so true with this lot. The ones with more brain and guts who possess more independent mindset tend to lean to the right wing. They stock up on ammo, training hard. Sounds like a right group to pull the society out of its woes, but they are far more atomized. Due to thinking for themselves, their ideas of what is needed vary, bringing disunity. Also, failing state fears them much more, thus often applies pressure trying to subdue them. Barbarian enclaves are also fearful of them and frequently cooperate with elites to keep these men down. In all three groups we looked at here, there is a growing discontent and gradual decline in desire to risk and sacrifice, although for different reasons and to various degrees. Men from all groups might start engaging in all sorts of destructive activities, ranging from something as simple as graffiti vandalism to various addictions with their consequences to most violent extremes. To be continued.